Hey fellow Star Trek fans, I got a quick little video for you. I just wanted to show you something really cool. This is from the Kelvin timeline. This is Hot Wheels. And this is the U.S.S. Vengeance. The small model. I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm not really into the Kelvin timeline and the new movies. The JJ prize is pretty. I do enjoy looking at her, and from the timeline and the storyline point of view, I'm not really crazy about the Kelvin timeline. Anyway, one of the ships that I really love, this is actually one of my favorite ships of all time, is the U.S.S. Vengeance. This thing is just a monster. It's just incredible. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of information on this, and then I'll be right back and I'll open it up and show it to you.
The U.S.S. Vengeance. The U.S.S. Vengeance is from the alternate reality. It is from the Kelvin timeline, and she is a Dreadnought-class starship. She was launched in 2259 and destroyed the same year, 2259, and she was commanded by Admiral Alexander Marcus. The U.S.S. Vengeance was built in secret by Section 31. It was a prototype that was designed for war with the Klingon Empire. She was built in a space dock that was in orbit around Jupiter, and the ship itself was designed by Khan Noonien Singh. He went under the alias of Commander John Harrison. This advanced ship was capable of sustaining speeds up to warp 10, and the USS Vengeance was also capable of firing while in warp. Despite her size and power, the ship was designed to operate with minimal crew, and as little as one person was capable of operating the entire vessel. Sadly, she would meet her end, as Mr. Scott would sabotage the weapon systems, and Mr. Spock would later beam over long-range torpedo tubes that were secretly armed with warheads. The explosions would ultimately cripple the ship. The ship ultimately fell into Earth's atmosphere, but in an attempt to destroy Starfleet Command, the ship was flown intentionally towards San Francisco. But missing its target, it managed to destroy waterfront areas, including the Alcatraz prison. Hot Wheels introduced this model. It is the Hot Wheels collection for collectors, HW Screen Time. This one, particular, is 40GKI, and the description is as follows. Appearing in a blockbuster movie, Star Trek Into Darkness, the USS Vengeance was a Dreadnought-class vessel designed specifically for combat missions. Built in a secret facility orbiting one of Jupiter's moons, the Vengeance featured advanced shielding, weapons that could be fired while traveling at warp speed, and automation that reduced the amount of crew needed to operate this powerful battle cruiser.
Okay, that being said, we can go ahead and I can show you the packaging. We can start. Hot Wheels, of course famous for making cars, small model cars. This is Star Trek, the USS Vengeance. And this is the HW Screen Time series, like I said in the description. So, this one in particular is 40GKI. And I believe it's a 2017 release. That being said, let's go ahead and we'll take it out of the packaging for you. I want to keep it in the packaging, so I'm going to attempt to make a nice line and cut it so I can put it back in after. So let me pause and I'll take it out for you and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I went and I cut it. I cut the bottom so I wouldn't have to rip it, because I'd like to put it back in the packaging, at least to keep it stored on a shelf. You can see it comes with its own base, which is pretty cool. The base kind of reminds me of the more classic, like the heavy models that were produced in the 90s. Actually, what am I trying to say? The Franklin Mint kind of model, like the Enterprise, the one with the gold deflector dish. It kind of had this kind of a base. Okay, I'm sorry for rambling. Let me show you the ship itself. This thing is so amazing. It's just, I don't know why this ship doesn't get more attention, because it's just so incredible. Can you imagine if they had a fleet of these? I mean, the Romulans, the Klingons, the Cardassians, none of them would stand a chance against a fleet of these. It's just amazing. And this can actually be run with one person if need be. Capable of sustaining warp 10, firing while in warp. And just totally amazing, beautiful ship. Let me put it back on a stand, and I'll zoom in to try to show you some of the detail. As with everything else, I'm going to put up plenty of pictures for you, but let me zoom in so you can see the detail of her. Because that's a little easier than for me trying to hold it. I'll show you the beautiful saucer section. And it's different in the fact that it's got the open areas on the inside around the bridge. And of course it's not going to focus, right? Of course not. It's just a really cool little model. This is from Hot Wheels, and it's got its own little display stand. You can see the little area where it would go underneath. I don't know about you guys, but I would love to see Diamond Select come out with the model of this. One that's got the lights and the sounds. Hallmark does have a keepsake ornament of the Vengeance, and I believe Eagle Moss has the Vengeance also. But as for model kits, at least I've been unable to find a model kit. I'd love it if they made one. And like I said, I don't like the Kelvin timeline, but I love this ship. I don't understand why this ship hasn't gotten more attention. But it's so cool. The U.S.S. Vengeance. And if you remember, the Enterprise went to warp to try to get away from her. And this ship is capable of warp 10 and also firing while in warp. So when it came up from behind the Enterprise and just started firing, I mean, it just kicked the hell out of the poor Enterprise. It was sad, but I mean, let's face it, if this was doing that to the Enterprise refit, I'd be bawling my eyes out or just freaking out at the screen. But this thing was amazing, and it was very short-lived. So let me put her back on a stand for you. It just slides right back on. And again, I'll put up plenty of pictures for you. Let me see if I can zoom in. And of course, for some reason, it just wants to focus on the bottom. The background, I mean. But that, my friends, is a quick little thing about the U.S.S. Vengeance. This is from Hot Wheels. And hopefully, it gets made into a model kit and gets a little more attention. So, my friends, this was the U.S.S. Vengeance from the Kelvin timeline.